but I understand how they see that. I've even gotten Hitza, or Itza, as if it rhymes with pizza, which is also incorrect. Heisa is another common one, and it's a common German name, so I understand how people hear that. But it's actually Heisa, so just break up the syllables, that's how you say it, so Heisa. When I say that, though, that usually brings up the question, oh, where's that from? What's your ancestry? That name, at least, is Czech. Mark, I know you have some Czech in you too. So people who know a little bit about geography and history will say, oh, so your ancestors came from the Czech Republic. But that's actually not true, because that republic was founded in 1993. And so they'll say, oh, Czechoslovakia. That was the name Americans knew in the Cold War. It was a communist country. But my people were not from there either. They're actually from the Austro-Hungarian Empire, which was a country, a state that was around before it was dismantled in World War I. So when my paternal great-grandparents, the Heisas, immigrated here in 1889 or 87, they were from the Austro-Hungarian Empire. That's what it says on the whole Ellis Island transcript. Actually, I'm not fully Czech either. This is a pie chart of my ancestry. I've always wanted to do this, so this is the Czech portion. But as you can see, a combination of my mother's and father's families I have, most of me is English. It's the largest amount. I also have a significant amount of Hungarian and Polish in me, as well as some German, and my favorite, Irish. It's a favorite culture, one of my favorite cultures in the world. I'm proud to say I'm at least partly Irish. There's a picture with me and my sister, and having to do with the Irish part, somebody saw me with this red beard. I don't know if you can make out the colors, but if this was, if I could grow this out, if I didn't have to shave it for a career, then it would be orange. And so some people would ask me, oh, are you Irish? And to one of them, who was also Irish, I said, oh, I'm like a small amount, 1/16. But he said, oh, well, that's enough to be dangerous. So I got his approval, and I'm proud of that. I was born at the end of 1989. It's significant because I was raised in the 1990s. One trait about me is that I can be very nostalgic. So I view my childhood, and I also think the 1990s were a really interesting time. Better than now in certain regards. Yeah, we had higher crime, but I think America was better off. I like the style, I like the music, and so at least once a week I'll probably nostalgically reference the 1990s. So proud to be born then. My hometown is Napa. About 75 miles west of here. A lot of people have heard about Napa. They associate it with the wine country, which it is part of. So most people think that it's nice to have that as a hometown, and it is now. It's really beautiful. I'm over 21, so I can enjoy it more. But wine's also expensive, so I'm not fully able to enjoy it yet. But it is very beautiful. I don't own a vineyard, as many people ask, but I do live near vineyards, and I've indirectly worked for the wine industry. It's a good place to grow up, except when you're a teenager, there's not much to do. You can't go to a winery, so we just hiked around the beautiful countryside. Though I actually prefer Sonoma, which is also part of the wine country. I prefer it a little more than my hometown, so just don't tell anybody from there. Another big trait about me is my faith. I'm Christian. That's how I met Kayla and Mark. The most interesting thing I think a Christian can tell you is their own personal story and testimony why they have that faith. And I wasn't born Christian. I was actually converted by Charles Dickens. I don't know if anybody's heard of Charles Dickens. Not a missionary, but he is a writer. And I was 15, going through that sort of troubling time, and I read A Tale of Two Cities, which, if you haven't read it, it's sort of like Les Miserables, I'll say, and everybody sort of liking that movie now, so it has a similar feel. So I never understood Jesus before, never understood God or need for a Savior or that aspect of faith. Until I read that story, and there's a character who, a horrible character throughout. You know, he's really living for nothing, treats people badly, is apathetic, and he sacrifices himself at the guillotine for somebody else. And as he's walking to the guillotine to die, sacrificially, like Jesus, he repeats this in his head, reassuring himself and somebody else he just met. So yeah, I'm the way, the truth, and the life, said Jesus, to paraphrase. He who believes in me shall live, shall never die, and he who dies and believes in me shall always live. So that stuck with me, and I believed it, and I understood it. Had some fun travels before. I look back at highlights of my life. That's what this sticks in my mind. Been to Washington, D.C., England, France, Monaco, Italy, Vatican City, Spain, Norway, Denmark. I've learned a lot about myself that way and gotten to see the world. It's been it's good. Can tell you a little bit about myself, and I hope to get to know you all more personally.